Emirates as Arsenal took on Aston Villa. They're now unbeaten in their last 7 in all competitions. And then Chelsea really set the tone in the early game today, firing 7 past Norwich City. Mason Mount with a hat-trick in that game. Newcastle came from behind to earn a point at Selhurst Park. Watford, well, what a win for Claudio Ranieri, firing 5 past Everton at Goodison Park. They have never won at Goodison in their history. Leeds United got a late penalty to earn a point against Wolves. Southampton and Burnley shared the points on the south coast. Brighton, as you can see, there's confirmation of the game we've just seen. Manchester City firing 4 past, then Brighton with the 1 goal at the end. And as for Sunday, well, it's a super Sunday. I would not move from your screens because Brentford and Leicester go head-to-head at the Brentford Community Stadium. We've all loved watching Brentford this season. At the same time, the action gets underway between West Ham and Tottenham in the London Derby, and that is a beautiful warm-up for the big one, Manchester United against Liverpool. I expect more goals in that one, for sure. But what does all of this mean for the Premier League table? Well, Chelsea are comfortable at the top. Well, they're 2 points clear of Manchester City, but they have done wonders for their goal difference. City in second. Liverpool, of course, if they beat Manchester United tomorrow, will climb into second in the table. And Brighton are fourth, but that's only for a moment, potentially, because, of course, Tottenham, Man United and West Ham are still yet to play this game week. As for the bottom half of the table, well, the bottom 3 really are struggling, aren't they? All 3 of those teams, Burnley, Newcastle and Norwich, yet to register their first win of the season. And the 2 teams in the bottom half still yet to play this match week are Brentford and Leicester. Well, there's plenty to reflect on from a statement win for Manchester City tonight. It all started with their captain Gundogan getting on the score sheet. Foden scored a couple, and then there was a late goal from Mahrez right at the end. To a 4-1 win over Brighton at the Amex. 20 points from a possible 24, Jolien, and they just looked pretty comfortable out there tonight.
Yeah, that was the message, is that they were Brighton will be disappointed, but Man City capitalised on every slight mistake that Brighton made, and we're 3-0 up at half-time, and they never look like they're going to concede 4 goals in a half. So it was kind of over at half-time. City
were just too good, weren't they?
Yeah, it was just a clinical, professional performance by City. I think they probably show Brighton quite a lot of respect. Going to the Amex for Manchester City can be a little bit underwhelming. It's probably not a game that gets you too excited like a Liverpool away. But in the manner they pressed, they showed Brighton a lot of respect, and through that press, they...
There's no selfish personalities in this team. They all want to contribute to the team winning, and you could see there, and possibly Jack maybe should go for goal, but the outcome is a goal for Man City, and that's the main thing.
Do you like those 2 combining?
Yeah,
they work well together, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, to have 2 players of that calibre combining, and Jolien says there Jack maybe should have shot, but he just shows how unselfish he is and what a team player he's becoming for Manchester City. And here we see Lewis Dunk with a bad pass, and then Bernardo Silva driving. He was class all evening. Jesus, brilliant feet, gets it out to Grealish, who's got far too much space here, and he comes out and like Phil Foden mentioned in his interview, I don't think Jesus realised that he'd come off him, so I think he'll be a little bit disappointed that he doesn't get that goal.
Yeah, he's a bit fortunate in the way it goes in, but the credit goes and should go to the build-up, the way they've won the ball back. Bernardo Silva again pressing high and then recognising the space. We would see normal forwards probably get attracted to the ball and go a bit closer towards the goal, but Jack Grealish keeps the space, and it just gives Jesus and himself more time to get a shot off. And yeah, the finish is fortunate enough to, because I think if it doesn't go off Phil, I think he saves it. But again, you earn your luck.
Not an easy conversation for him to have with Jesus, then.
Well, it depends which side of the conversation you're on, Seema. But you see how much space Jack Grealish was in, and you would think that Brighton hadn't got enough players back. But Brighton had 6 players back there. It was just the movement and the runs beyond that just dragged them all over the place, and left him at the back stick unmarked.
So he scores 2 goals in the first half, and he was on for a hat-trick in the second half as well. He could have actually delivered as well, because he did have a good chance, didn't he?
Yeah, he was trying extra hard to get this final goal for the hat-trick, and why not? He's earned the right to do this, and again, there's not really a pass on there. Players will be frustrated that he didn't look up, but when you're on a hat-trick, I'm sure all the players then would have gone through and tried to execute that finish. And good save from Sanchez. Probably not his most consistent game he's had all season, but at moments in that half and throughout the game, he produced good saves.
Yeah, and then City did get their fourth goal, didn't they? And this was courtesy of Riyad Mahrez, but Foden had a say in this one as well, Glenn.
Yeah, he did. Again, sloppy by Brighton, and then Foden sort of gets on the end there. And we can just see Mahrez here in the back, and just too much time. Plays back again, but just been dragged all over. And Foden has the awareness once he finds it at his feet from Fernandinho. He has the awareness just to pick Mahrez out on the back stick, and then from this, it's inevitable with the wand of a left foot Mahrez has got, and he just drills it into the back of the net to put the game to bed.
Great finish there from Riyad Mahrez. And actually, they like to share the goals, don't they? I mean, 20 goals scored this season from 11 different players. But let's rewind to the first half. And it was Ilkay Gundogan, their captain, that got them off the mark. Didn't he, Jolien?
Yeah, again, well-earned goal. Before this, it could have been 1, maybe 2-0 up. Again, this is probably not Sanchez's finest moment this season, but full credit to Jesus to force the error. And the first players to react are Man City. And then again, that'll probably be equally as disappointing to Graham Potter, the fact that when he drops it fall into a Man City player, because they're reacting faster than the Brighton players, and Gundogan's to capitalise on an intelligent ball from Bernardo, and yeah, just a simple finish.
Was there a foul though on Sanchez here?
I would love to tell you there was sooner, but
I know you would.
unfortunately there wasn't the foul. It was. The best way I can put it is probably weak goalkeeping and naive goalkeeping, and cost his team. And listen, when you come up against a team like Manchester City, to make individual error like that, to start the game so early, and I think it was 12-13 minutes, then it's going to be a difficult afternoon.
Yeah, and actually Sanchez, he has, I think it was the 4th highest save percentage that he had registered across the league going into this game. And he has had a really good season, 4 clean sheets going into this game as well. So he'll be disappointed himself with aspects of his performance today.
Aspects, yeah, but he did make a lot of good saves this evening. 4, 5, 6 really top saves. But yeah, decision making this evening I think was a little bit off, and I think he'll be honest with that, and he'll assess that. He'll sit down with the goalkeeping coach Ben Roberts at Brighton, and they'll speak openly and honestly about it, and they'll try to improve from that. But that's what you get from a young goalkeeper. Brilliant saves, maybe a little bit naiveness.
Well, we heard Phil Foden mentioning earlier in his interview about the fact that they were wearing T-shirts. Those T-shirts were in support of the fan that was attacked in Bruges in the Champions League midweek. Well, let's now hear the thoughts of the Brighton boss. Here's Graham Potter.
Well, Graham, if we start with a positive, what would you say about the fight in the second half?
Fantastic, really. Performance-wise, so proud of the players. I mean, we're playing against a top team that deserved to win, but our players gave everything. They did everything we asked them to do. They were together, had spirit, they had quality. So we're, of course, disappointed to lose. We have to say that Manchester City were better, but our performance was something to be proud of.
So what did you say to them at half-time? Because it seemed, because of their quality, a pretty harrowing first half in parts.
Yeah, I think we gave a bit of a cheap goal away, the first goal, and against the quality of opposition, when the scoreline goes against you, it can be difficult, and we suffered a bit first half. I thought we were okay, but their quality was fantastic, and made a couple of errors which get punished, and all of a sudden you're on the scoreline is a not a very nice one. But credit to the players, they responded, didn't feel sorry for themselves, accepted the quality of the opposition, but at the same time wanted to show a little bit more, which they did. And like I said, second half up to 85 minutes, I thought we were fantastic. Ran out of steam a little bit, as you should imagine, with the effort that we put into the game. But we'll take a lot forward from that game.
So on that first goal, it sounds like what you're saying, you see it as a mistake rather than a foul, because often on the keeper they are given.
Yeah, I've not seen it back, so I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things. It happens. It wasn't the best goal from our perspective, but again, it happens. And then from then, it's we got punished a little bit from our own sort of. We lost the ball and attacking their box, and they've put the ball in for the second and an error for the third. But again, these things can happen against the quality that the opposition have. They put you under huge pressure. It's not easy to create chances, not easy to find ways through them. I thought the guys were brave, they tried, but you have to credit the opponent as well.
Were you brave in the way, do you think, that you pressed them, but obviously the consequence of that can be there's space in behind?
Exactly, and it's the bad blanket, isn't it? You try and press them to stop it happening, and then there's space behind, you drop deep, and then there's space in front of you, and you don't see the ball for 20 minutes. So, as I said before the game, they're a team that can attack you in all sorts of areas. We tried. We take something from the game in terms of our performance. We take something going forward. Clearly, we're not competing with Manchester City in terms of our league position. So all we can do is accept the fact that they were the better team today, and then look at our performance and go, we've got a lot to be proud of there.
Does the second half in particular mean that the confidence that you've built throughout the season so far isn't dented too much?
Well, it's not dented at all. I can't be proud of the team. I can't be proud of the performance. Happy with the performance in the second half. Like I said, it's not easy when you're playing this type of opposition. Second half, I thought we were the better team for up until the 85th minute, where physically probably that bit has taken its toll, and then they can bring on Kevin De Bruyne and Mahrez, and it's a challenge for us. But we can't say that Manchester City didn't deserve to win, because they did. They were the better team, but there's a lot for us to take forward.
And a real positive, Tariq Lamptey coming on, long time out and looking like himself.
Yeah, he did really well. Mark Cucurella really well. Solly March, there's positives in the game. Enoch, when he came on, did well. Adam Lallana gave everything. Lewis Dunk, fantastic. I can go through. I haven't got anything but satisfaction with the guys. They gave everything, and sometimes you have to hold your hands up and say the opponent was better.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, a very honest interview there from Graham Potter. He was asked about his half-time team talk. I'm just wondering, what is it like to receive a half-time team talk from Potter when you're losing at half-time?
He's quite calm. We see his interviews before and after games, and that's how he is in the changing rooms as well. It would be constructive. He would tell you the truth. He wouldn't pull any punches. I mean, you're 3-0 down. There's nothing too good to be said, but it would be encouragement from that point on, and it would be about how they could possibly get back in the game, but it's very rare you see a teacup fly over the room.
Well, that's good to know. And actually, the half-time team talk would have had some desired effect, because we did see an improved performance in the second half, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We did definitely see an improved performance. Brighton were much more of a threat going forward, and I felt as though they controlled Manchester City better, but whether that was because City were 3-0 up and on cruise control, I suppose we'll never know. But yeah, from a Brighton point of view, you've got to say a little bit of character and a bit of momentum, and instead of losing the second half, they drew the second half, and then they look towards the next game, which is Liverpool away.
Very easy, obviously. They did get a penalty. Talk us through the incident. What did you make of the penalty incident, Jolyon?
Yeah, we thought it could have been slightly offside in the build-up. I don't know why it wasn't given. Initially, I didn't know why it was being checked, to be honest. I thought it was quite early in the phase of play. But again, for VAR to check it and not give it was strange, in my opinion. But again, this is Brighton's best period. Patient, players are making runs and receiving the ball in tight areas and making the right decisions. And that's key when you get these opportunities. And strange decision from Edison to come out and not extend his arms. We were talking about it in the studio, that if he extends his arms, maybe he gets the ball. He's come out and withdrew his arms, and his momentum's flew into Webber. So it's a definite penalty, the incident. But regardless of the offside, I was surprised they didn't give it. No
denying that was a penalty, right?
No, definite penalty. Like Jolyon says, why Edison came out.
Yeah.
I mean, the Brighton player was quite a way outside the goal frame. There was no real reason to get involved, was there? But little rush of blood to the head and you end up with a penalty.
We both questioned why the offside wasn't given and why that decision wasn't made. There's only one person to speak to, and that's Dermot Gallagher. Hi, Dem.
Hi, Sima. How you doing?
Very well, thanks. Dem, could you explain that for us? Why was the offside not called?
Yeah, he's in an offside position. There's no doubt about that, Sima. I think what happens is when the penalty's given, they check the penalty. Yes, we all agree it was a penalty. You then go back, is there an offside in the attacking phase? Well, when they started the move where they did, I was surprised because that was so far back. I thought they were going to check. If you look here, he's just offside. There's no doubt about that. He gets the ball. You know, imagine there's no VAR. That will always go on. There's 1, 2, 3 passes, then they go back. So it's felt that Manchester City have a chance to reset. And that's what it's all about. It's not about time. It's not about the amount of passes. It's about, do they have time to reset? And the VAR felt, yeah, they did. And I have to concur with them because in that situation, I know they don't get the ball back, but they have a great chance to win it. As I say, that's how it was. So when they checked again, they checked was the pass to the forward offside, and they said no. So I understand why they didn't go back. And I think we saw one at Southampton against Liverpool a couple of seasons ago, very, very similar, where the ball went forward, it got crossed, came back. Player was offside originally, but they allowed that to go because it's all about the reset.
Thanks, Derm. You made a lot of sense of that for us. That was really well explained. Can you just explain one other thing for us? Obviously, we spoke about this in the studio. Was there a foul on Sanchez from Jesus? What did you think of this incident that led to the first goal?
I was really pleased he didn't give it Seamer because I watched Everton last week with Antonio. I think it was a similar challenge on Pickford. Look, his eyes are on the ball. He does nothing wrong for me. Goalkeeper comes out. I think the goalkeeper goes into him. So I think the referee's to be applauded for giving that rather than me sat here and Glenn or Jolien saying to me, you always back the goalkeeper, you always give them too much leeway.
Thank you very much indeed. I think we're all on the same page. That makes a difference, doesn't it? Thank you very much. OK, it's now time to hear from the winning manager. Here's Pep Guardiola.
Pep, congratulations on the win. I'm interested in how you felt the difference between the two halves were.
Yes, it was different, but it's normal. So you don't know, maybe I know what does it mean coming here against this manager, against this team and winning this stadium. So first of all, big compliment for the first half, for the first 10-15 minutes. 10 minutes the second half, after they changed the diamond and they created problems, we could not do it, and because they play really, really good. So they just so far concede 4 goals, 5 goals, we score 4. And it's a good lesson that in football, the only way the football must be played with the ball. And when we don't have the ball, you suffer. And half an hour, what they have the ball because they have good process. They build up with the keeper with 4 in the back. They make 1 more man in the middle. They occupy the pockets. They have a speed on the sides. The movements in front. It's so difficult to control them 90 minutes. I said to the halftime to the team, so against another opponent, the game will be over. Against this team, it's not be over. It's not over. And it was like this. So, and after the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, so we take the ball again, and after we control and we won the game.
Phil Foden continues to impress in that central role. Do you see that as his best position now?
When play the left winger is a good position. When play right position in the right winger is a good position. I would say that Phil is a player can play in different positions, but especially up front, because has this quality for the first control, for the speed, for the pace, for the vision, for the sense of goal. Yeah, unfortunately, last games he had many chances in front of the keeper, 3 or 4 times. They could not score, but he's young. He's going to improve to finishing.
I just want to ask you about the banner unfurled by the Manchester City fans, the support for Guido, the fan who was hurt during the week, and I know your players were supporting as well with the T-shirts.
It's part of our team, Guido and his family. So many players sent messages, and myself yesterday again. So hopefully every day is getting better and can come back with the family in the right tempo, in the right time as soon as possible.
All right, thank you very much. Cheers.
And we do wish that fan all the very best with his recovery. Well, here is the Premier League table. As you can see, Man City climb into second, 20 points from their opening 9 games. They've won 6 games, they've drawn 2, only lost 1, scored 20 goals. I mean, this is a familiar story, isn't it, Jolien?
Yeah, definitely. And the only added part to it is that Chelsea are contributing to the same kind of form that we've seen Liverpool and Man City contribute the last couple of seasons. But